Hey, good evening, you guys. How is everybody doing? We're gonna be on for like an hour. I got out of class late tonight. I guess I didn't have to stay, but I wanted to be a sport since everybody else was asking questions. I guess I wanted to act all inquisitive too. Shit. I was so ready to go, it was ridiculous. So I'm gonna drink a little coffee. We'll stay on for an hour because I gotta wash, do my meal prep. I'm gonna do some Venezuelan chicken salad, which is so freaking good. And I'll tidy up a little bit. Hey, Angel, the real boss. Oh, mm, mm. I thought I had get. I guess I didn't give them. Thank you, actual treasure, for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate that. When they started barking, I said I thought I had given them enough melatonin. I buys them. As a matter of fact, they down to one bottle. Okay, I needs to keep that in stock. I've been ordering that like crazy off of Amazon. That that puppy melatonin because they so active and they still wake up real early in the morning. I mean, they are really my alarm clock. Hey, your choice, Toem. Hey, Pumpkin. Miss Nelly. Hey, Tyranny. Hey, Chocolate. Just waiting for more people to come in. Whew. Even though I had a what was it, a 3-day weekend? I did get the opportunity to rest, but it's like, dog. Hey, Justice for Dog. I was like, let me go and make my coffee and drink me some coffee because y'all know I'm good about getting sleepy this late. But I did have a pamper day today. Like yesterday, I rested. I was in the bed all day. Today, I went and had a pamper day. I went and got my nails and my toes done. I went to another shop that's really about nail care, and my fingers have my hand has not been breaking out. Nothing. Oh, praise God! I think I done found me a shop that I'm gonna be able to go to. And my nails look so pretty. I got that vibrant yellow. Yellow is a happy color. I was stuck between getting that green, but I was like I got lime the last time, but I was thinking about I was like I need to get that green because green attracts that money. But I was like yellow is a happy color. It's one of my favorite colors. I don't necessarily like gold. I like yellows, vibrant yellows, not golds. And so it looks nice. And yeah, I should have went and got me a massage too, but I did some more therapy. I yeah, toenail money. Um, Justice for Dolph sent me the nail and toenail money the last time. I got that Dolph blue. That's what I had. And this time, um, Fat Boy. Fat Boy did it. Got the yellow. Y'all know yellow with the one finger sparkle. The index finger I like for it to have it's got a platinum diamond on the index finger. Um mhm. I was getting ready to say so. Oh, I got the opportunity to go to Aldi's I don't know why. I just like going picking up like chicken. And then Aldi's have I said I was never gonna go back in Sam's again. After the way Sam's did me, charging me $500 something for all that stuff. So I'm gonna just stick to like Aldi's and Walmart. But I do gotta go in Sam's to get me that big thing of ginger. Has it been 5 minutes? Okay. Let's talk. Yeah, we're not gonna be on here long. I promise you, my instructor. And I mean, but I do like talking about civil cases. I do. That's one of the things that I do like. She's like a she does more civil work. She's done criminal, but she does more civil work. So she loves to talk about the civil um litigation, civil suits and stuff like that, which is right down my damn alley. Okay. Ever since like she does she's done a lot of family law, and she speak a lot about wills and stuff like that. uh but I'm starting to let me go and get into, I'm starting to feel a little drained. And I got some other things I gotta do before I hit that sack. I think about y'all, them cases piling up and up and up. um I'm like, dog, like, let's see. Want to talk about the HIV, H to the I to the V rate, and I wanna do something a little educational tonight. I was looking at Dr. Umar, okay, and what's up, the hitter? And I'm gonna tell you what made me go to Umar's page. I was kind of surfing on the net, and I saw where Skull had a title up that Dr. Umar says that his school is about to open. Now, um, he's been saying that for the longest. The school is supposedly in Delaware. And it made me go to his page. And when I went to his page, I saw where he was talking about experiments. Um, you absolutely right. Dr. Sabi had a cure for it and won. And it's funny how the American media blacked that out. The American media blacked it out totally, would not even do stories on it. But Memphis and Shelby County, because Memphis sits in Shelby County, okay, sits in the county of Shelby, has long had a problem. And I remember back in the day, I used to talk about how the highest rate was in Binghamton, okay. And Binghamton is not that big of an area. It's really not. So that was even scary. But Lord, I just thank you though. My daughter's dad is from over there. God, thank you for taking care of me. Okay. Um, but I don't reckon he ain't got no. I don't know what he got now, but he ain't have it when I was with him. Let me just make that clear. And our daughter is 28 years old, child. And so I hope he ain't got it. He sure be having hard troubles and stuff. Troubles. I'm joking. I hope he don't. He's got a hard trouble because he smokes cigarettes and will refuse to stop smoking. Ain't no telling what else he smoke either. Okay, praise the Lord. But we gonna pray that spirit off of him. All right. Um. And but anyways, you're starting to see, like, when you look at the zip codes and stuff now. The numbers are high in like the Orange Mound area, the Whitehaven area, hell, really all of the damn zip codes. Okay. Um, I think what they tried to do was downplay. Hey, baby, they tried to downplay it when they was talking about how the high schools were totally infested with HIV and AIDS. Now, a lot of the high school kids. They really tried to downplay it. Okay. Ma'am, what are you talking about? Ma'am, what are you talking about, Miss Sheena? What are you talking about? I want to give you the opportunity. I want to give you the opportunity because I don't care nothing about you leaving. But I do. I guess because you never. I don't know what caliber of crazy you could be. So I guess I want to give you the opportunity because Lord Jesus. Okay, God, please let me hold my tongue. Maybe she already gone, so it wouldn't be no need to um address her anymore. Maybe she left. Okay. What's up, Stangy? Lady, you better be glad I'm changing. Okay. You need to be glad that I'm trying to contain myself. Woo! Lord have mercy. You just don't understand. Um well, she said I'm glad I don't see a lot of people. Anyways, you guys. Stangy, what's going on? Stangy, I was looking at your video today. Stephen called me. I was getting pampered. I was getting myself pampered. And Stephen kept ringing my phone. I was like, dog, it was working on my nails. And then he started texting me. He said, I could hear him in Hitler's voice. I could only I, he had I get he probably if I had answered, he probably would have had that urgency in his voice, like Hitler said he be having. He probably would have had that urgency in his voice. You said it's really real? Oh my God. So so go van and then put a bag on you and Mr. N. Wow. Mm, mm, mm. Y'all run the likes up. And let me just say this for the people that it may be their first time coming in here. Just understand, like in here, people that have been in here with me the longest, they understand how I joke and how we kind of joke and it's lighthearted and all of that. I joke about my kids' fathers and stuff all of the time. And if they ain't got no damn issues with it, shouldn't some drama queen shouldn't bring her ass up in here and have no issues with it. So what you need to do is you really need to, because I see a lot of new people coming in here, and you see I have a little quirky personality, but a lot of times somebody come in here looking for something, and when you come in here and you don't try to get an understanding, and you think you're gonna shoot off on me, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. Okay. And I don't want to be rude like that, but you're gonna get your damn feelings hurt because if you big enough to be rude, I'm big enough to give it back to you. And then we're gonna block you. Okay. Um wait a minute, Stan G said, what's the he said got the arrow. Justice for Dow says, I don't know how he knows, but I got Govan DMs from today admitting he plans to kill Ian. So what did the DM say, Justice for Dolph? Let us know what the DM said. What did the DM say verbatim? So did Govan send you the DM? Oh wow. He says, I will put it out by Friday, and it was a long message. Oh, wow. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button.
Tonight, as there is a push to lower the HIV rate in Shelby County. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Shay Arthur. The Shelby County Health Department says Memphis and Shelby County continue to have an HIV rate that's 3 times higher than the national average. WREG's Queecha Wilborn explains what the department is doing to lower those numbers.
Oh, wow.
The Shelby County Health Department continues its efforts
He thought
to
it was
lower the
Mr.
HIV
Ian.
rate. Health officials tell your news leader that even though there has been a downward trend in cases, Memphis's HIV rate is still higher than that of other metropolitan statistical areas.
We find that the earlier you can get linked to care, start on medication, the quicker you can get the virus load under control and less likely to transmit.
Shelby County Health Department Interim Director and Health Officer Dr. Bruce Randolph says the ages of those impacted are the most concerning. He says the case rate among 15 to 19-year-olds is 4 times higher than the national average. Dr. Randolph says they are finding that many people are not practicing preventative measures, possibly due to advancements in treatment.
When HIV first came out, people who had HIV was dying, dying by the hundreds, thousands. Now we've managed to allow people, if they get into treatment, stay into treatment, take their medication, they live for many years. So it's not that immediate death sentence that it used to be.
He says socioeconomic status may also play a role. The health department says the average HIV incidence rate is 11 times higher in the poorest zip codes in comparison to the wealthiest ones.
You look at the map for violence and homicide, it's very much similar. You look at other communicable diseases, syphilis, gonorrhea, the map will look very similar.
As a way to address the issues, the department has been hosting community events where participants can get tested and gather resources. They're also working with community partners to find ways to address the issue and effectively spread information.
So how are they going to prevent it? Well, ranging from abstinence to knowing the status of your partner and yourself, to using condoms, to taking PrEP, which is medication you can take. We're trying to reach people where they are.
Reporting for your news leader, Queecha Wilborn, WREG News, Channel 3.
And Dr. Randolph says it is important people are aware of their status. He says people living in Shelby County can go to 901hivtesting.com to receive their own free in-home test kit.
Oh, wow. That's something. I remember when we were teenagers, and then they stopped. And I think a lot of this stuff is engineered often. And so what people try to do to shut you up, they'll say, oh, well, they're always with these conspiracy theories. It ain't a conspiracy theory if we're looking at it. We're able to analyze it. You could walk into the health department and get condoms, free condoms. And then they stopped. Okay, they stopped doing that. And I think now, since it is out of control, they just started back giving resources or something like that. When they say resources, I wonder if it's condoms, because they stopped giving out free condoms so that they could sell in the store. Because with the health department, I can't see them not being able to have that in their budget if you're trying to keep something under control, right? And it seems like to me it's all out of control. People didn't even talk about HIV and AIDS. They kind of blacked it out. If you don't think about it, if they black it out, they don't talk about it. As American people, you really don't think about it, unfortunately. And I think that's kind of the way that they want it, because people don't think to take precautionary measures. They was talking about COVID, the code to the vid. And that's what people was focused on. They was focused more on COVID than they was the H to the I to the V. Okay. And it really is sad. It's sad, that the numbers are like they are and consistently soaring. And you think about drugs and stuff. When you enter that into the equation and the number of young people and adults that is on drugs is out of control, especially in Memphis and Shelby County. Also, we're in the age now where, unfortunately young women feel like selling their body is the thing to do. He gonna have to give me more if he raw dog me, and I don't understand. You hear men, you still hear men talk about how they don't want to use a condom, and they paying these young women $40. I want to get the full experience if I'm gonna pay some. That it's really sad, like the mindset. And so I honestly believe that people just don't care. Okay, they couldn't care, not taking precautionary measures. Um, and so normally, when it is affecting the Black community like it is, um, hey, they allow things to get out of control like this. Mhm. They allow things to get out of control like this. I remember when there was it was a epidemic. You don't even hear them talk about it anymore because they immediately got it under control. Well, a lot of those white kids were overdosing. Yeah, what was it that they was? It wasn't fentanyl that they was overdosing on. It was opioids or something. Well, a lot of white kids was, and they hurry up and started getting that up under control. You don't even hear about that no more. They started putting programs into place. They had all types of stuff that was going on because it got out of control in the rich white kids' neighborhoods, and they immediately put something in place for them. And it seemed like to me they almost took it off of the street or tried to. But then they introduced fentanyl, which is I didn't even know what fentanyl was until my friend that's a police officer said to me. He was like, "You do know what fentanyl is, don't you?" Um, and I said no, and he said it's horse tranquilizer. You know, how in the hell did horse tranquilizer get put on the streets in the Black community? And what is even more devastating to me is why would Black people even want to, lace their weed and stuff or take fentanyl? So I see like in what the government like to do, especially in the Black community, is they like to deal with the reactive. They like for us to be reactive because the money is in being reactive. After you get on drugs, we'll send you to a mental institution, or we'll send you to a drug rehab, which is funded by the government or rich people. Or after you contract H to the I to the V, we'll put you on a drug until you die. But they don't want to talk about being proactive, because it ain't no money in being proactive. Because when we were coming up, we talked about just saying no. Okay. How about don't smoke nothing? Okay. Don't do no damn drugs. Okay. How about abstinence? And then once they realized that the kids was just gonna try something anyways, after you, if you gonna do it, okay, protect yourself. And that is something that they kind of removed. um it's always, when you look at TV, it's always you can live longer after, with this drug, because that's where the money is. Okay, in the drugs. And so, I really get tired of hearing a lot of Black people say, they put this out here for us. Well, then, if you know that, if you're smart enough to know that, why are you not? Why do we have codependent personalities in our community? That's something that we're not dealing with. right? That's something that we don't deal with, and that's something that we need to deal with. Why are we having codependent personalities, right? I don't think that it is me being hard, but I just think that in order for our community, I think what's going on falls right in line with what the powers that be want. Okay, we spoon feed them. We tell them, all of these atrocities have happened to the Black community, and this is just another thing, that you have fallen prey to. Now we don't have to fall prey to this, because we have to take care of ourselves and preach to our generations, that because we're raising the next generations, okay, that are being raised in our households. So we're leaders, right? Because anytime you're raising kids, you are a leader, because you're training the next generation. You should be training them to be leaders, right? To be independent thinkers. And these are the types of messages that we have to spread, instead of taking on that victim mentality. We are not victims. I understand that a lot of stuff, I'm not stupid, have been engineered to keep the Black community down. I do understand that. Yes, it has. But we're not victims, so we gotta start rising above, stuff, and making sure that there's really something put in place to help those that are in need, because we all go through stuff like with depression. Everyday life can cause depression. We lose loved ones that causes depression. So there has to be something in our community, and we have to change our mindset, because inside of our community, we've always been taught, my grandma and them were taught, that you don't go see no psychiatrist, you don't go see no counselor. You deal with that. Whatever goes on in this household stays in this household. Everybody can attest to that. That Big Mama and great grandmama and them, that's how they dealt with stuff. And so if you dare go talk to a counselor or something like that, no, you're gonna suffer in silence, right? And so I think the pressure bust pipes, right? And so we gotta have people, and I guess they say they got that. I don't know. There has to be something in place to deal with pressure, but it cannot. It's not. It shouldn't. I think when people start going to get counseling, people just want the money, because now, okay, you started coming. We want to make sure you constantly come. So we want to maybe put you on something. And if you got to be on something, please by all means do get on something that's going to help you. But I think it should be as a to help you to get through this, so that you can um move ahead. And I think that's what's going on in our community. There is nothing put there for us to get through stuff and keep moving ahead, right? We're it keeps us stagnant, you know. And so, as long as all of these atrocities, all of this stuff is happening in the Black community, you're not, there's really nothing that's going to be put in place until um I think we get big and bold enough to come together and really start taking care of our community and educating our community the right way, right? I hope I said that right. It's going to take us, as I see what's happening, and I've been seeing it for a very long time. It's really sad. It really is. I remember when I was a teenager, when I used to love to study about, I've gone through so many phases. Okay. I just knew when I was a teenager, I just knew I was going to be a doctor. So um, I would bring up the home all my health books and stuff like that. I studied about HIV and AIDS because it was still really fairly new at the time. We were still learning about it. And I remember reading that it came from the African green monkey, right? And they don't even talk about this type of stuff. They don't even talk about anymore how AIDS was originated and all of that. But I remember reading that it came from the African green monkey. And these scientists got to experiment it. And I believe it was really, they tried to say it was for homosexuals, and it probably was a target at them, but it was geared at killing a lot of Black people. Okay. And I guess what they didn't think about was a lot of people integrate. There's a lot of interracial relationships and things of that nature. And unfortunately, it has just gotten out of control. But you don't ever hear them talk about the African green monkey, because the African green monkey survives with the disease. Okay. Let me see if I could pull that up. The African green monkey. It's in West Africa. And look, they say the virus for these vaccines are grown in viro cells. This is a cell line started in the 60s using kidney cells from the African green monkey. Okay. I told you. But they won't let that touch them. I'm gonna get ready to show y'all. These scientists did this to us. Of course, we know this. It says African green monkeys, AGMs, are natural hosts of simian immunodeficiency virus, carrying high viral loads without actually developing AIDS-like symptoms. I remember reading that, that their immune system, because monkeys are different, is that their immune system can carry the viral loads. It develops into HIV for us, and and so how would that happen? They there were all this saying that that they tried to say that the Africans was over there mating with the monkeys, like they put all this shit out, but you don't ever hear scientists really talk about the African green monkey anymore, because then people might get curious. They know this newer generation ain't gonna do no research. People might bring up the question, as they did back then. Okay, well then, if this virus exists in the African green monkey, how is it in humans? And then the scientists would have to say, well, we were experimenting with them and injected these humans with this, right? So, anyways, they said because the African green monkeys do not get sick from from carrying the AIDS virus, they are used to study how to prevent immune system exhaustion. Isn't that something? Did they really believe that a human, what did they experiment with it? They knew that, yeah, people need to start doing research on what a lot of what these scientists do. Anyways, y'all, I want to show y'all something with Dr. Umar. You all hit the like button.
Black foster children were used in AIDS drug experiments, babies, wards of the state, orphans, given experimental HIV medication without proper consent. Many forced to take it through feeding tubes when they refused. And yes, some of them died. This happened in New York City. These were our kids. with no parents to fight for them, and the government allowed it. But this ain't new. We've always been used as guinea pigs by the system. In Tuskegee, 400 Black men left to die from syphilis while the government watched. In Guatemala, U.S. doctors infected children and prisoners with STDs. In prison, Black inmates in Philly exposed to toxic chemicals without consent. In the military, Black World War II soldiers sprayed with mustard gas just to see what would happen. This country has a pattern. It targets the vulnerable, it silences the poor, and it uses us like we're disposable. But not on our watch. Here's what we do now. We educate ourselves. We ask questions before signing anything. We speak up when something does not feel right. We demand legal and medical protection for our kids. We teach our people to advocate loudly. They've been experimenting on us for centuries. But baby, we are not experiments. We are legacy and we are warriors. And we will protect our children by any means necessary. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share them. Did you know that?
That's interesting. But it's true. It's been happening for ages. And I think that poor white people need to understand that they kind of fall in a category now as Black people. Because this is hey, Mr. 901 Southside, this is a capitalist society. And all they really care about is money. Now they really don't care what your race is. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I wanted to talk about that, because I don't think it gets talked about enough. And it's really sad. It is. It's really sad out there. Yeah, I also want to talk about is Truly planning to silence people for straight drop. Now I was thinking, I was thinking about some stuff today. And I got to thinking about, straight drop is up for an appeal. And so, I got to thinking about like when Young Dolph had first lost his life, how they went on a rampage. I don't know what they thought by killing so many people, I guess they thought that by killing a lot of people like the Jeremiah Taylors and all of that it would ensure their freedom. Now, straight drop ain't got a chance in hell in getting out. Okay. We listened to how that lawyer argued that weak point, but I mean he did what he had to do. Okay. But he don't stand a chance in hell in getting out. And I don't know at this point, because I don't know if any fire has been shot up under quite a few of these people, right, as it should, if they feel like that they can send out some young dudes to go and do some crash dummy type stuff to try and shut people up. Straight drop ain't getting out. Okay. Just like I don't know what they thought was going on with Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah was just up there with the mural, and they killed him. Okay, for basically for nothing, and no telling how many more people. Okay, and so I was thinking about that today. Since it seems like even though some of these things, what the events of what has happened, it seems like to me the pieces of the puzzle as it relates to some of these people and their involvements in quite a few things are still kind of falling into place. It's like it's still kind of falling into place. You're starting to see who is behind what, who sends who out, to go and commit certain crimes. And I just got to thinking about that, are they do they think they're gonna start pulling a lot of that crazy BS that they was doing before? And I think one of the things that one of the things, something happened today, okay, and I'm not gonna say what happened. It may not have. I don't really believe in coincidences. Like when weird stuff happen, I always reach out to somebody. But something kind of weird happened today, and that's another thing that kind of brought that to my mind. Are these damn fools back on their prowl? Do they really is Devin Burns dumb enough to really believe that he won't get the death penalty? Okay. And is he dumb enough to believe that he's gotten away with prior stuff? Okay. Because we know he's the one that kind of that they kind of go to get these to send these little young dudes out, right? So that's why I say things are kind of falling into, you start to see who controls what and why people have relationships. You would think with the way that these folks have been on top of stuff. Um, hey, TT Licious. He said, "Child, this Memphis 10. I'm trying to change my name back." Okay, so that's why I say it's really interesting because I don't really know what type of you know brain operating system that some of these people operate with. Um, I think a lot of these young cats have looked at these mobster movies too much. They ain't got no OGs guiding them in the right direction. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of the OGs that they are probably around want to see them crash out, right? They keep them on go so that they can use them to do dirt for them. And so, you know, if they are dumb enough to believe, number one, that they were ever out of the woods, or or that or or that they can commit crimes to keep people from talking, um so that straight drop can get out, because that's kind of what they did the first time. They got to be a bunch of damn fools, but we already know that they are, right? Hey, Joy Loves God. We already know that they are. So I found that interesting, and trust me, I have reason to. um and what happened today could not have had anything to do with nothing. It could have just been something totally random. But you better know, I notified some people. I sure did. Um, mm, I don't know what I know. I do know too. Like some of these people now, what they've started doing is going to get people to do things that are on drugs or mentally ill. Okay. But what they don't understand is they got to be mentally ill too. Um, they just as mentally ill as the people that they're sending out. I know I'm kind of talking in circles, but I don't like being accusatory. But at the same time, like something happened today, and I'm a very cautious person. I am very cautious. Um, mhm. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. As a matter of fact, I have been saying I didn't even call. I can't find the phone. Guess it ain't meant for me to call right now. I'm scared to call and verify something. I'm definitely gonna pray about it because, like I said, I'm real cautious, and um, I think a paranoid person is real. It's real dangerous to try to play with a paranoid person because I'm gonna lay you down, okay? And we already know, unfortunately, some of these people are some bushwhackers, as Colt Figure used to say. Okay, they first of all, it's got to be something wrong. That's why they send a mentally ill person out um, to do it. There's something wrong with a man, anyways, to even be want to bother a woman. But straight drop ain't getting out. It's over for him. Not unless he do what he was getting ready to do anyways. And even still, he has like almost like 2 life sentences. So he'd have to really do a whole lot of telling. Okay. Um. So yeah, he's got one sentence that's 35, and he's got one that's life. So unfortunately, Straight Drop did this to himself with the help of the wrong guidance of being around the wrong people, and it's something you know when he was 23 at the time, a 23-year-old young man, um, unfortunately has to spend the rest of his life in jail. It's very unfortunate, but I mean, young Dolph has to spend the rest of his life in the grave. His children cannot see him. At least Straight Drop's kids can see him, but young Dolph's children can never see him, other than images of him, of what he used to be. Okay, because you had some dudes that decided that they wanted to play God, and I just hope that they're not up to their old tricks. But you better believe the motherfucking FBI and the police know. Okay, so I just really hope True Mafia just, I thought that they had dismantled that anyway. If they haven't, they going to. All right. That's why you don't really hear me talk about them, because I know what it is. But I hope these young dudes, since we know that Devin Burns is the leader, so we got to believe that he is the person that put these young dudes up to do a lot of what they do. Now we see why he was doing all that damn hollering in court. But I would hope that they don't lead another young man to his grave, the electric chair, or a life sentence, as they did Straight Drop. Okay. And it's looking like as they did Teasy. Shit. Um, yeah. Y'all hit that like button for me. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. But now I wanted to show you all this. Lord Jesus. Yeah, they said Joe Brown has pulled a petition to run for Shelby County mayor as a Republican. Hold on, y'all. Let me see some. Um, hold on. Okay, here it is right here, you guys. I want you all to see this.
I love those.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
Who do you consider the king of Memphis? Like, you know, as far as rappers, like what you consider?
Dolph.
Okay.
Dolph.
So you was a Dolph fan?
I love Dolph.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Jay Bill, Gotti got some hits though.
Right.
Gotti got some hits.
Right.
But me personally, I say is Dolph.
Yeah.
I ain't taking away Gotti can rap. I ain't taking because the bitch CMG and shit, but I say Dolph is king of Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a big Young Dolph fan.
Yeah.
So how does that work out here in Memphis?
Okay. I don't know, for some reason he probably wasn't. I don't know. He asked her for a reason, but I don't think he was. He might have not been expecting for her to say Young Dolph. So, and she stood her ground on that. So I'm glad that she did. You know, Young Dolph definitely has a legacy. Has some good music. Young Dolph's music was more motivational, I guess. You know, you didn't really hear him. I don't think Dolph had drill music. You know, you didn't hear him talk a lot about killing or anything like that. The energy, which is why I can listen to quite a bit of his music. The energy is not low vibrational or anything like that. So, yeah. Shout out to Young Dolph though. Shout out to all the young brothers and sisters though that, you know, try and do their thing. You know, we talk a lot about Glorilla, and I'm proud of Glorilla. But you know, you got other young women from Memphis that Glorilla stands on the shoulders of these young women. You know, like Gangsta Boo, LaChat, um, Jessica Dime. Okay, um, who else? What other women are those? The only women? And you know, I don't ever hear Glorilla paying homage to the Memphis women whose shoulders that she stands on. You know, I think it would be good for her to do that. Although I guess I'm not really surprised because Yo Gotti didn't pay homage to anybody that came before him. Okay. See, people, always talking about, well, Gotti came before Dolph, and Dolph should have paid more homage to God. Well, who Gotti pay homage to? Does it the same rule does not apply to him? Okay. So I guess that can't just be one way, right? Right. Right. Okay. So yeah, what we have to do is we gotta pray. We have to pray for um these young people that are easily sent out because they have mental illnesses. We have to pray for their minds, and I hope that their families start praying for them, because I think a lot of them are around vultures when they know that they have mental illnesses. Those are the ones that they send out to die, because that's what's going to happen. Okay. That's what's going to happen. And so I always say, we have to pray for our law enforcement too. People get caught up in talking about snitches. I don't want to see any black, men lose their lives, but I also don't want to see black men out here plotting on the lives of somebody else because they think they some kind of type of damn mafia. A bunch of damn fools, retarded fools. Lord forgive me for cussing. I ain't mean to say that. I know that word is harsh. Lord forgive me, I don't even say the word retarded. I ain't mean to say retarded, but a bunch of damn fools, I'll say that. And so I hope these young men are because they're old enough to understand that you ain't nobody's hitman. And even these old fools, bunch of old ass fools. Okay. What these older men need to understand too, like folks, that these old men ain't recovering no more when they get knocked down, they get popped, or however a person defends themselves. They don't recover easily, so they need to think about that too. But it's mostly these young boys that want acceptance, and yeah. Anyways, Cypress talking about he came in just in time. Look at God. We talked about, but as far as Straight Drop is concerned, Straight Drop is going through a process. It ain't nothing that nobody can say or not say unless the appellate judges have been paid off. Okay, that's going to have Straight Drop to walk free. And you better know, if the appellate judges overthrow it, then what's going to happen is there's going to be an appeal filed immediately by either the state or whoever. More than likely the state. Okay. They'll file an appeal on that judgment, but I don't see. Straight Drop had so much evidence. It was so much. I didn't even really hear his attorney. His appellate attorney didn't even argue none of the evidence that they had against him. He didn't argue anything other than his argument was his client. His argument was that they didn't call Hernandez Govan, and that his client couldn't sit at the table with his attorney. What kind of shit is that? Because the defense had the opportunity to call Hernandez Govan if they had wanted to call him. I mean, Luke was sitting up talking about, Luke was, and I never understood that. Luke was like, I'm going to pull that up. Okay, Cypress. Luke was talking about how he wanted to question Hernandez Govan. Well, why didn't he call him? Couldn't he could have subpoenaed him. But he didn't want to subpoena him. Because he didn't want to subpoena him because it was funny how they did that, because at the time Quit had seen that he said okay, he said that one judge with the strong face features. Hold on, you Lord. Let's see. Girl,
So now you're saying you told Justin that you went and wiped it down.
Yeah, I told him too.
Why didn't you tell that to law enforcement who's seeking the truth from you, right?
There was stuff.
Question that money was for services rendered for the men sometime around there?
I don't know the exact months and stuff like that. I got my lawyer in March, so I don't know. I can't just pinpoint exactly what month.
Well, I'll say it like this. You started out with a different lawyer and you ended up with the lawyer you have now, right?
No, sir. No, sir. He was never hired.
Okay, well, you got paid.
No, he did not get paid.
Didn't you get paid?
No,
Didn't you get $50,000?
he did not. He ain't signed my jacket saying he represented.
That's not what I'm asking you.
I just talked to him.
That's not what I'm asking you.
Right. You asked
He
me.
got $50,000.
Lawyer. So.
Hold on just a second. Ask your question, wait for a response.
Yes, ma'am.
The original lawyer in your case got $50,000 to represent you. Did he not?
I don't know exactly how much you get. I don't know.
Okay. All right. And you knew that we're all clear here, that money came from CMG, right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly who, but yeah.
All right. So you talked today, you got paid for what you just testified to, didn't you?
After I was locked up,
You got paid,
my
right?
lawyer was paid. Lawyer.
You got $50,000 to pay a lawyer, right?
I didn't get it in my hand. Great. I don't know how much it was, but great. My lawyer got paid.
Okay. And there's no question that money was for services rendered. Killing a dog.
Basically.
You took it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did your conscience bother you?
Come on.
Your conscience.
After I came to my senses, yeah.
Did you say, I can't have that money? I can't use that money, but you still got a lawyer here.
No, I ain't say that.
You took the money.
Yeah, I took the money. I got the money.
Your conscience wasn't bothering you that bad, right? You said your conscience started bothering you, but not bad enough not to take the money for the job you did.
Well, I had already did it, so might as well. You know, I got a conscience still. After I came to my senses.
Right. Okay. So you didn't think, man, I really shouldn't be able to keep money for killing somebody.
I didn't think like that.
Okay. Now, at the end of this, you said, you're direct. You said something about, you saw a picture of the person, you said Mr. Johnson with a suitcase. And you said he was there with his money getting out of town.
Right.
To be clear, you don't have any direct knowledge of Justin Johnson getting a dime for this, right?
Nah, I ain't got nothing.
Okay. So you can't say he's leaving with his money, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, a couple other things specifically. When you, as you say it, let's kind of put a timing on this. So you said March, you got your current lawyer, and you went back and met with the government again, right? Or the state. First time ever, you testified that you wiped that Mercedes down.
Yeah.
You've never, morning, I went to sleep in the midst of texting you to knowing today is my big day.
My baby birthday. My daughter's birthday.
November 17th.
Yeah, my daughter.
You went and killed a man on your daughter's birthday?
Hey, I'm trying to make it right for her. I ain't have no money. I'm trying to get some money that day. So I'm trying to make sure my baby girl, man, have a beautiful birthday. So it was whatever. And I'm trying to get high on pills. It was whatever.
But you're telling her you're going to buy her a house, you're going to give her $10,000.
y'all know what? That's kind of how you know. Let me see this. Accused young dog killers, defense pleads, clients innocent in closing. That's where I wanted to get to, the closing argument.
It's good to see y'all again. this is the last time you're going to have to hear from me.
And and the reason that I'm bringing up the closing arguments is because this is what Straight Drop's appellate attorney is arguing, something similar to what Luke Evans said as it relates to Govan.
And as I see all of your faces, I know that, you know, engaged in a music video, right, for his rap. Hat kicked to the side, kind of grin on his face, because that's what he wanted to do. And his fate is directly in your hands. And like we talked about, it's never justice to wrongfully convict someone. And so that determination that you're going to make beyond a reasonable doubt is the heaviest one, maybe one of the heaviest decisions you'll ever make. And you've had an opportunity to sit through the trial and hear the evidence, observe the witnesses, and you've been told, keep an open mind. And I hope you have. I'm sure you have. And not to talk about the case. You know, the thing that you've been listening to for days with people all around you that have going through the same thing, and then you have to be around them even when you're not here, and you can't talk about the elephant in the room. But today that changes. And not only are you allowed to talk about it, the judge has instructed you that you have to talk about it. And to engage in deliberations meaningfully, to listen to one another, to review the evidence that you've heard, to talk about it, and render a decision. He remains that way. He didn't kill Adolph Horton Jr. He didn't conspire to kill Adolph Horton Jr. And he wasn't the man holding the pistol in the Makita video. And it's going to be up to you to decide that, to watch those videos, watch them closely. They want to talk about those videos, and I'm encouraging you to study them. Give them a close look. The state doesn't want to acknowledge what I told you in opening, and that is similar. It doesn't mean the same. Plenty of people have gray sweatpants, black shoes with white soles, black hoodies. And as we learned through the proof, in Memphis especially, and elsewhere, Bass Pro has. You can look at it, if we had a window, you could look at it and you could see the Bass Pro, which is the pyramid here. You also heard testimony about it being a fad at that point in time. Famous rappers wearing it, other famous artists. I think I mentioned Gwen Stefani wearing Bass Pro. One rapper has a signature Bass Pro hat. You heard from one of the detectives that they even interviewed someone who gave them a potential suspect that wasn't Mr. Johnson and said that person always wore a Bass Pro hat. You have to consider that. And then you have Sergeant Dabney, who, for the first time, and I think he acknowledged this, sitting on the stand, says, I think those underwear are the same. They're both blue. You look at the underwear from Tulane Apartments, you look back at the Makita video, those are the same underwear. Look at it. Look at the still shots. And for yourself, determine, can you tell if those are the same? And as jurors, you get to make that call. You get to look at it for yourself and compare those. we've heard a lot about it's not 1981 anymore. There's fingerprints on it. They made a big point to say, you see gloves in the video. Look at those videos. During proof, it was interesting because they would show the Mercedes go into crosstown and the Mercedes leave crosstown. And they would show a video of Mr. Johnson getting in and out when the car was exchanged. Video. And he's like, okay, it's been proof so convincing that you would not hesitate to rely on Adolph Thornton Jr. and location. And in the state's argument just now, you heard her saying what the expert said. A phone using, Adolph Thornton Jr. was shot. When you talk about coverage areas and what a cell phone normally. Now, a little bit about conspiracy and some more of the on another occasion to discuss it, and Justin Johnson was not there. Was not there. What Cornelius Smith said was he met with Hernandez Govan and Juk, and Justin Johnson was not there. And then he said he met with Hernandez Govan and others on another occasion to discuss it, and Justin Johnson was not there. So to suggest that he was present and agreed, where's the agreement? He wasn't there. Now, you get to Mr. Smith. The court has already instructed you about accomplice testimony and is already warning you that when you're considering that, you have to use caution. Now, you also have to apply the credibility factors that are in the jury instructions, but they're not an exhaustive list, right? Like we talked about in voir dire. Some of you, most of you, probably all of you have had to talk to somebody before and go, are they telling me the truth or not? And that's exactly what's here. But accomplice testimony is flagged because that person may have an interest in the outcome of this case. And you go, what is that interest? Well, Cornelius Smith, number one, told, he had to admit, he didn't want to admit it, but he's meeting with the state. He's hoping to get a benefit on his own sentence. He's supposed to be telling the truth. But he's writing his sisters at the exact same time that he's meeting with the government, or the state rather, and telling them, I didn't do this, I'm just lying to get the deal. I'm just lying to get the deal. Now, is that his conscience, like he wanted to say? No. That's him telling his family. Why would he lie to his sisters? If he had a conscience, right? If he had done this out of the sense of, I did this awful thing, I feel awful, I've got to accept responsibility and tell the truth. No. But you remember, and it was kind of an interesting moment when he was testifying, because at one point he says, oh, that's not lying, I was gaming. Gaming's not lying. And the unfortunate part of all this is he's gaming everybody, including trying to game y'all. That's the problem. And he thinks he's going to walk. I mean, and the only person in this case who got paid for this. Remember, there is no proof whatsoever that Justin Johnson got a penny. Cornelius Smith got 50 grand for a lawyer for killing Adolph Thornton and didn't have to give it back. He didn't have to give it back. His lawyer was in the courtroom. And I asked him, I said, you remember, I said, how could you? You didn't give it back. You grew a conscience. What's going on with you? And he went, well, I did it. Services rendered, right? And the lawyer, he's talking about with his sisters, he's saying, oh, well, my lawyer's telling me to cooperate. I'm walking. I'm not doing it unless I can walk. Now, he was asked by Mr. Hagerman, have I ever told you you're not going to have to go to prison? And he said, no, you haven't. But you have to keep in mind two things, right? At the time he was giving all this information that made him valuable to come in here and talk, he thought he was getting out. That's when those letters are going out. Those letters are going out, and he thinks he's getting out because he's got the lawyer, they got the cooperator from Ali Bobo to walk. And that's the type of thing you have to remember when you're assessing whether you can rely upon Cornelius Smith and anything that he said. The guy that sat in that chair, and he was asked by Mr. Hagerman, when you killed Adolph Thornton, what did you feel? And like it was nothing, said, I didn't feel anything. I just trying to get paid. And that's the guy that they want to put in front of you and say, believe it. You know, he went and talked about exchanging money, right? Getting $800, right? At one point said, do you find people that he got that Mr. Johnson somehow came back into town and he talked on the phone with him and brought $500 to Marcus Johnson. Who's in contact? Who's in contact with Govan? According to Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith. Who's not in contact with Govan? Mr. Johnson. Did you hear anything about that? Now, when you go back in the jury room, you're going to be reviewing, obviously, these videos. Johnson. Who's in contact? And then for the first time ever, here in court, he says he wiped the card out.
That's a lot of video. I was trying to find where Straight Drop's attorney said, I would like to have examined Hernandez Govan, but the state didn't call him. But he could have subpoenaed him and gave him the opportunity to come up there and plead the fifth.
Yeah, I think they dropped the ball on a lot of this purpose.
Who dropped the ball?
all of them dropped the ball to get it right.
You don't feel like Straight Drop got a whole lot of evidence on him?
Yeah, I do. That's why I don't understand the appeal. Like, you ain't going nowhere, fam. Your ass is jelly.
You don't think Devin Burns and them will start trying to put hits on people that they think you think they that dumb? Thinking stopping folks from talking about Straight Drop.
I think Devin Burns is most definitely that dumb. I think he'll be the main one. He'll be the main one in the courtroom. Somebody they trying to kill me.
Devin Burns thought he was getting ready to be indicted on all that dirt he did. It's coming, but it just wasn't that he was just scared it was getting ready to happen then.
They trying to kill me. They supposed to kill you, dummy.
These folks sit up and send and do all these murders and stuff, and then get in the courtroom and act like that.
Act like pretty women. Look, man, this what comes with these. When you put this,
he was real scared. He didn't know what they was getting ready to tell him.
And when you decide that you're gonna pick this gun up and you gonna go get that, listen, this what come with this. If this ain't what you ready for, go to work, go get a job, go panhandle, man. Don't get in the courtroom and cry like a girl, man, and you got her choosing to do this shit. This shit ain't asking for you.
He showed his ass in that courtroom. His eyes and stuff was scanning around. He didn't know if the feds was gonna walk up in there. He didn't know what was going on. He said, I feel like y'all trying to kill me. He gave his own self away.
Well, he know what coming. What's on enroll?
Mm. He saw all them cameras in the courtroom because he was actually in there on something else.
See, the scary part about these fools is this. They don't stop.
No, they don't stop. And the reason that they don't stop is because they always got a damn food that they can use. Okay? It's about who dumb enough to be sent out. Okay, as long as they feel like they got somebody that they can send out and it don't get back to them, which that's not gonna happen. Because hell, if you feel like if Straight Drop, you heard Quest say Straight Drop was get ready to tell him, he told on it. He just decided that he would let Cornelius do it.
Man, let me say this. We don't need no more Cornelius Smith in the world. Lord knows we don't.
Yes, we do. No, we don't. We don't need nobody that's going to go get high and go kill somebody.
Nah, I ain't talking about the killing part. I'm talking about getting on stand, pointing niggas out.
Nah, we don't need nobody that's going to go get high and kill nobody.
Nah, we don't need nobody gonna get on stand, pointing niggas out after they choose to go do the crime.
I tell you.
We don't need no more niggas like this. So if y'all hang around niggas like this, prepare to be in somebody's courtroom.
Y'all hear that crunching because I'm eating baked seaweed.
What the hell is baked? You know what? Never mind.
It's good. It's baked seaweed with garlic and olive oil.
What it do for you?
It's a light snack. It's really good. It's an Asian food. It's what they wrap sushi with.
Shout out to all my good Asian people.
Mm-hmm. Well, seaweed is so good and it's light. So, like I said, it's gonna be interesting. Straight drop. I mean, he may get an answer back before, but I think it takes 6 months, sometimes longer.
Right, he done, man. He done. The way they was looking in that courtroom for what I saw, he done.
But Luke argued in his closing. He said they didn't call Govan. I would have loved. I'm not the state. I would have loved to have cross examine him. Why didn't he do it?
They knew not to call Govan. There's a bit more trouble than what it's worth.
Now Govan was mad at Straight Drop at that time. They knew he wasn't coming. If I'm smacking in y'all ear, I'm sorry. It's just that they're a little light and crunchy.
I'm ready for the case to be over, man.
Mm-hmm. They crashed out on the drugs. How long do Bang Wang got?
Shit, I don't know. if he died the life sentence, he lucky.
Yeah, he lucky that he don't have a life sentence. Bang Wang trolled a lot. He wanted for people to know when he had did something. Yes, it is so good.
That's why I don't understand a lot of these fools. I grew up in the era where you go do crime and do all the stuff. You don't want people to know it. These fools want to get further. They want to get online and let everybody know that you did something.
They be wanting for the people that they did it to know, because listen, look at how them the dudes, they couldn't help themselves that shot Trey Slimes. They can't help it. They was celebrating the first time they shot him in the face, and folks were saying he wasn't dead, and then they were saying, if you ain't dead, Trey Slimes, say something. They said, if you
Man,
ain't
look,
dead, blink twice. They was trolling. They actually thought they had killed him.
hey man, look.
I gotta believe whoever those folks was that popped him in the face the first time, they did it the second time, and he's still alive. Like they really need to let it go. Trey
Man,
Slimes,
look.
this is an opportunity for him to change his life. It's an opportunity for them to abandon the mission, leave him alone.
Man, look. Let me tell you something.
I'd be.
God got a special plan for that young man. I don't know what angel he was touched by, but I want to be touched by it.
It seemed
Amen.
like to me he got some favor, don't it?
Yes, Lord. He just don't know.
He got more lives than a cat.
I'm telling you, no, I think he been touched by an angel, and God got a special plan for him. But he got to get out of Memphis.
Well, I think I was listening to this a song that they call themselves "Did a Diss Song," and they were saying they still think that they was kind of trolling them. They said something about they don't think he gonna make it, but I hope he makes it. I do. I hope the young man makes it. They'd be surprised. I hope that his family keeps it quiet. Even if he do get, hopefully if he gets out of the hospital, they keep it quiet. And nobody never has to know nothing. They need to quietly just move him on out of the city.
Move who out the city?
Straight Slimes.
Listen, he got to want to go. Listen, this is what I don't understand about people with money. It's okay to separate yourself from mom and them. Shit, save yourself.
Mm.
I don't understand people. I guess I'm not just close to family like this because ain't no way in the hell I got this type of bread I'm finna call to be around, fam. I'm finna get the hell on.
Mhm.
Mama just gotta come run me. Shit, I ain't never had type of cash that these niggas walking around with. And I'm getting the hell away from my phone. I'm not finna
Well,
be
they
around
spend every dime they got on some jewelry.
yeah, jewelry and clothes and man, get the hell on, fam.
Mm. Anyways, I hope Devin Burns ain't sending those little dudes out.
Why you think that?
I just hope he ain't. Or even if he's supposed to be a leader, he need to be trying to,
Well, he ain't gonna lead them to church, that's for sure. So you can hang that up. And
Well,
if they listen, if they listen to him, they deserve whatever they get.
that's where a lot of them need to be in church so they can have some type of conviction.
Hey man, I'm sure about to get back up in church and get right.
Say he might not be mentally right for them streets. Hmm.
Might not be mentally right for the street, but he'll fit a plot perfect. All he gotta do is get caught slipping. So what y'all think Cornelius gonna get? 35, 40?
He might get somewhere around that.
I think he
I don't know. I think Cornelius is driven by revenge. I mean, he gonna try to tell everything he know on anything.
I think he should get at least 40, 50. Yeah. But be safe.
I think he should definitely get time. It shouldn't be no walk in the park.
He's gonna get a power. He should get a 50 piece.
Hmm. Anyway, y'all, I got some things I gotta do. I gotta get my I look like I'm gonna have to get up early to make my Venezuelan chicken salad because I need to wash some more clothes and stuff.
How do you come up with these goddamn names?
Oh my God, Venezuelan chicken salad is so freaking good. It is, and it is a healthy chicken salad. It's really like a keto chicken salad. It's really good. I put my squeeze my lime in it, my cayenne pepper, teaspoonful of that, and a little bit of mayo, chopped red bell pepper, bake the chicken, and then pick it up, shred it, or cut it up. But I like to shred it. It's really so good. And I think I'm missing some ingredients because I don't know. For me, I like to put black olives in my chicken salad. I love black olives. I don't like green olives. They're too salty. I like black olives. Anyways, you guys, I enjoyed you all tonight. Make sure you all please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can support the channel via Cash App or Super Thanks. I love you all. Y'all have a good night. Thank you, Cypress.